might be surprised because I didn't inform you yesterday that I'm going to be live tomorrow morning. So anyways, I decided that I should be live today because, as you know, I was not feeling well from last so many days. But I didn't have a fever, but I had some kind of allergy. So that was the reason I was not able to speak well. So I was like, okay, let's just upload some of the videos. But now today I'm feeling better. So here I am. So I hope you watched I think I uploaded it yesterday maybe, or 2 days ago, about my spoken English classes, which I am going to start from June 14th. And the time might be perfect for you. It's a 7 p.m. evening time, Indian Standard Time, right? So I hope many of you will be participating, actively participating, right? Because learning can happen only if students are participating actively, then they can accomplish more, right? So, and moreover, the spoken English, yes, I will be starting from the beginning. शुरू से बिल्कुल beginner level से ही मैं start करूंगी. पर एक चीज तो मैं assume करके चल रही हूँ कि आपको सबको alphabet तो आते ही हैं, right? So we will not be learning alphabet. Yes, there are many sounds in language, but we will be learning all kind of, phonics and everything, but that will be a part of the lessons, not in one day. And I mentioned in my video that I will be practicing with you in chunks. ये नहीं है कि बहुत सारा lesson एक ही दिन में कर लो, क्योंकि उससे क्या होता है, आपको for a time being you feel like yes you learned a lot, but you don't retain that information for a longer period of time. और बाकी जो speaking में है, you need to practice with me. वो जैसे होता है ना parrot की तरह थोड़ा repeat करना. Yes, it might sound like odd, but that's excellent practice. क्योंकि repeat करना, किसी को observe करके बोलना, ये भी एक speaking के जो strategies हैं, right? So today I didn't bring a vocabulary lesson for you, but there is a one game which you can play even by yourself, or you can play with others if you have friends or any family members. You can think about any word, whatever comes in your mind right away. For example, right now I will be thinking, okay, smart. So now start making sentences with smart and start talking with that one word, right? So जैसे कि I'm just checking if you are able to. Oh yes, I can see now. Yes, ahoy. Sufyan Ali, yes, Priyanka, good to see you guys. Good to see you. So उसमें क्या है, जैसे for example, I'm just thinking one word smart, so I can start making sentences with smart, right? I am smart. I don't know. You are smart. Yes. Or you can say, like, start with the simple sentences, and then gradually, whatever is coming in your mind, just make the sentences. I am smarter than my sister, or my sister is smarter than me, or Harish is the smartest student in the entire class. So, I mean, what else? We have smartphones in these days. So smart talk, some people talk very smartly. So you see how you can just play with one word and make as many sentences you want, right? Or you can say, oh, they are not very smart if you don't like someone, right? And so, I mean, I mean, just pick any word and start making sentences with it. And even I remember we used to play Antakshari, right? Antakshari songs ke saath. So you can play Antakshari with words. So you can just pick one word and, okay, now it's your turn to make a sentence, or now it's your turn to make a sentence. And when you are making sentences, try to make questions also, because that's the way the language works. Are you smart? Is she smart? Right? Are they smart? So like all kind of sentences. So I'm just giving you one example, just how you all can play with words, with the language. Play with the language, then it will be more interesting, right? So learn language in a fun way. Okay, so today, I know if you were with me last year, you might already heard this story, but even if you know this, it's always a good story because I love to read this. This is a story which teaches a very good lesson about perception, because whatever the knowledge we have, we just make conclusion or inferences based on our knowledge, right? And sometimes our knowledge is limited, sometimes our smartness is limited, right? So I'm making another sentence with smart. So this is actually an Indian fable, and many of you might already know about it, but it's good practice to learn. Harun Ali, hello, good to see you, Harun. So I am expecting many students to join from Monday 7 p.m. class, because it will be interaction. So more students gonna be online, the more interaction we will have with the language, right? Good afternoon, it's my good morning, early morning, 6 o'clock. Okay, so the blind man and the elephant, okay? Once upon a time, 6 blind men were walking down a road in India. They met an old man leading an elephant. Leading an elephant? They stopped to speak to the old man. One of the blind men said, "Sir, what kind of animal do you have? It's making a strange noise." So strange means not usual, right? Strange, not usual. The old man said, "It's an elephant." "An elephant?" said one of the blind men. "I don't know what an elephant is." "May we touch it?" asked the second blind man. "We want to know what an elephant is like." Priyanka, I will answer your question at the end of this class, okay? "Of course," said the old man. "This elephant is gentle." Gentle means not aggressive, right? Gentle. So aggressive is the opposite of gentle, right? "It will not hurt you." So it will not hurt you. One by one, the blind men begin to touch the elephant. That first blind man touched one of elephant's tusk. Tusk, so I hope you all know that, जो उसके elephant के क्या होते हैं? दांत? Tusk. Okay, so the first blind man touched one of the elephant's tusk. It was long and smooth. The tip was pointed and sharp. He said, "An elephant is like a spear." Spear is like a sword. Talwar bhi jisko kehte ho, spear, right? Then the second blind man touched the elephant's trunk. Ab trunk kya hai? Kya kehte ho usko? Soond, Hindi mein, right? It was long and very strong. It was long and very strong. It moved up and down and from side to side. Tusk is soond. Okay. Yes, tusk is soond, and the first one was he touch the elephant's tusk, and then the second one is what? Trunk. It was long and very strong. So tusk, teeth, trunk, जो सूंड है. It moves up and down, right? Teeth तो up and down नहीं move होते, right? So, and from side to side. सूंड, उसको क्या कहोगे? Trunk. He cried, brother, an elephant is not like a spear. It's like a snake. So it's a simile, like a snake. Tusk is like a snake, right? Or what was the first one? Who remember? Tusk is like a spear and trunk is like a snake. Okay. Next, the third blind man touched one of elephant's legs. It felt thick and rough. So there are many adjectives in this story, right? Adjectives describing words. It was very tall. No, you are wrong, my brothers. An elephant is not like a spear. It's not like a snake either. It is like a large tree. So why do you think these all men were observing in different ways? Someone was saying like spear, someone was saying like snake, someone was saying like a tree. Why? Who can tell me? Because they are what? They are what? They are blind, right? They are not blind, they are blind, so they are able to use their only one sense. That's what they were trying to use that time, was this the sense to touch, right? Sense to touch. So that means their sense was limited because they were not able to see. They were just feeling it. Or they were able to listen, but they were able to touch, right? Because they were blind. Excellent. So after that, the fourth blind man touched the elephant's side, the body. Then he said, are you crazy? An elephant is not like a spear, and it's not like a snake. It's not like a tree either. It's hard and wide and flat. Hard, wide, and flat. I cannot find the end of it. You know the elephant's body, of course, it's pretty big because elephant is a giant animal. So he was trying to touch, he was like, I can't find any end. So it's hard, wide, and flat. I can't find the end of it. An elephant is like a great wall of China. Okay. At that moment, the elephant lowered its head, right? The fifth blind man reached out and touched one of the elephant's ears. It felt big and soft and flat. It flapped and made a breeze. A breeze, gentle wind. So ears, big ears were flapping and were making a gentle breeze. I don't know if any one of you ever tried to, stand next to the elephant and experience that breeze. Okay, so he said, no, my brothers, an elephant is not like a spear or a snake or a tree or a wall. It is like a huge fan. Okay, so finally, the sixth blind man touched the elephant's tail. It was long and thin. It was long and thin, and it had hair on the end. He said, you are all wrong. An elephant is not like a spear, not like a snake, not like a tree or a wall. or even a fan, an elephant is like a, guess what? Rope. Okay. Now the blind man started to argue because, they all had different experiences and everyone was trying to prove himself what they were trying to prove. They all were trying to prove that they are right? So it was like, no, I am right, you are wrong, I am right, you are wrong, right? It happens in our life also. Think about that. Right? Now, so they started argue. Each one thought that his idea about an elephant was correct. Wait, said the old man with the elephant, the owner. You all are right. You are all right, but you are also all wrong. The 6 men were confused. How can we be right and wrong? They asked. The old man replied, each of you touched only a part of the elephant. It is more than a snake, it's more than a tree, it's more than a wall, it's more than a fan, it's more than a rope. Imagine. He said, see in your eyes, picturize, imagine, right? An animal that is all of those things put together. So put everything together. If you think it's like a sphere, if you think it's like a snake, if you think it's like a wall, or if you think it's like a fan or a rope, put everything together and then think. Can you imagine something huge and strange? That is an elephant, right? Why were the blind men argue? Why they were arguing? Anyone wants to say anything? What they were arguing? Because each one of them were. So each one of them were thinking that their idea is correct, whatever they are imagining, their imagination is correct. But it was more than that. And if you think about it, it happens in life also, even especially even in politics, right? Everyone is like, no, I am right, you are wrong, I'm right, you are wrong. Okay, so I always like this story. It teaches us that we need to come out of the box and think big, right? And then same thing is about language, I will say. Hi, Amitja. So the same thing is about language, right? Because language is so vast, unlimited. So that's why I always say, please do not set the limits. Do not set the limits. I want to learn this and I don't want to learn this, because whatever you are learning, it will be adding up in your knowledge. And that's the way you will become fluent. Then no one can stop you, because when you are learning limited, then you will be unable to express fully your thoughts, your views. Because think about it, if you are working somewhere, or if you have a friend circle, or you come up with any kind of a conversation on any topic, and you don't have any knowledge about that, how are you going to talk about it, right? And if the conversation is in English, then you will be done, right? So that's the reason, whatever you see, start noticing around you, everything. And wherever you see something, just pick it up and read it. It will help you, okay? And the same thing, and learn it in a fun way too, because that's very important too. And the one more thing, I mean, even I don't know if you listen the news or you I mean listen some kind of shows also, just pay more attention closely and then try to copy them sometimes. It's okay. It's okay to copy, because that will help you in many ways. Because the more you will try to speak, the more your passive vocabulary will become your active vocabulary. And that's the reason I know many students always say, oh, ma'am, I know so much vocabulary. I already know this, because it happens when you read and you feel like, oh, I already know these words. I know these words. I know these words. What this mean? I can comprehend. But when I want to speak, I can't speak, right? Why? Because you are not using that language. You are not practicing. That's what you need to practice. I know many of you, I will say 95% or maybe more than that. You say, ma'am, we don't have someone to talk to. We don't have a friend or a partner or anyone at home. How are we going to practice? So that's what I'm saying. You can practice. You can practice while you're watching TV, you can practice while you're listening radio, you can practice while you are watching even me, for example. Start copying. That will help you, really. I'm telling you based on my experience. Because, yeah, I mean, my college, my university, everything was, my medium was in English, right? But when I came to America, I had a problem. My speaking skills were not that fluent, right? I had a limit because I was not using the language. Yes, my academic language was strong, but then I started using the language, of course, with my children. First step was started talking to my children, right? My son. And then was same thing, was practicing with TV. I used to watch, oh my goodness, many reality shows, because I learned a lot from the reality shows. And from the reality shows, I learned a lot about American culture also, because when I came, the computers were not common that time. Internet was not there. Yeah, internet, I think in 99, I think the internet, the very first desktop we bought in 97, I think. And I was not using a lot because I didn't know much about that time. But then I did e-commerce and Java programming, and I learned a lot about computer. And after that, I started using it. But there was not much stuff on the internet, right? It was very limited. But now, if you see, again, maybe more than 80%, roughly, I don't know the exact number, but the contents are in English, right? So you need, English is now like a necessity, right? And it's an international language. English is the only one way we can communicate. Wherever you go, you will, in any country, right? Even on any teeny tiny island, you will find someone who can speak in English, right? Maybe in broken English, but at least you will be able to across the message, right? एक दूसरे को समझा सकोगे कुछ, if you know that common language. It's an international language. And one more thing, guys, please always keep in mind, English is not measuring your intelligence. ये चीज आप एक अपने मन में बिठा लो, क्योंकि it's just a language, right? So you might be very intelligent in your first language too. So बिल्कुल ये एक कॉम्प्लेक्स है, बहुत स्टूडेंट्स को है ये कॉम्प्लेक्स, और मैं चाहती हूँ कि इस कॉम्प्लेक्स से बाहर निकलो आप, क्योंकि आपको, you should be proud about your first language. You should love your first language, right? and ये तो जैसे English तो जैसे कह लो, it's our stepmother, right? But your first language is your language, and you should be proud about your culture, about your language, right? So प्रियंका ने क्वेश्चन किया था कि ये जो क्लास है जो मैं स्टार्ट कर रही हूँ June 14th, it will be on YouTube. Yes, Priyanka, the class will be just like this, but I will be sharing PowerPoints and will be discussing and practicing the language, and you all will be practicing with me wherever you will be that time, right? At home or in the office or outside in the park. So yeah, Priyanka, don't worry, right? कोई कहे ये तो क्या हो गया, इसको अपने आप बोले जा रहे हैं, right? So it's fine, but you should practice. And ma'am, you should be live because I have a lot of questions. Amit, okay, lot of questions. So Amit, you should join my Zoom live class. So उसमें actually क्या करती हूँ मैं, sometimes I do it, I end the session and then whosoever are in my class, and if they have questions, then we go offline and then students can ask me the questions. I give them like 15 or 20 minutes at the end of my Zoom session. So my next session will be on Saturday, 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, Amit. It's the day after tomorrow, right? Today is Thursday, so tomorrow Friday, and Saturday is my Zoom class, but you have to be on like live like this. I will come live for 5-10 minutes, and then I paste the link, Zoom link here in chat, and I paste the link on community also, so the students can join my class, and then we all just learn live in class. And most of you who join my classes, you know that on Saturday we cover the fiction. We already started one book, and then on Sunday we practice the non-fiction. Fiction means stories, and non-fiction means real informational text. And then we talk about it, we discuss about it, we practice the all kind of skills, reading skills, and oral language practice too. But after that, yes, you can ask me questions, Amit. So any other question? If you have any other question, I have 4 minutes, and then I will leave because I have to go to my institution now. Okay, so again, I hope you all are following my directions. Please, if you again, if you seriously want to learn English, you need to follow the steps. You need to follow the directions. What's the first thing you need to buy? Is a notebook. Start taking notes, because notes are good reference when you want to go back and you want to practice it. Then you have your notes right there, right? So you can use your notes to practice. The second thing, I always prefer pencil, because with pencil you can erase it, but it's up to you. If you like to write with pen, it's up to you, but at least notebook and pen or pencil. And I will be starting all the lessons in the beginning for the beginner levels, and then pretty much when I finish one unit, then I'm gonna have kind of like a quiz. No, I'm not saying blindly follow me, Priyanka. I'm saying smartly follow me. Smartly, not blindly. No, don't follow anyone blindly, please. No. Don't follow anyone blindly in your life. Always keep your mind and eyes open. Okay? Yes, follow smartly. किसी को लाइफ में ना तो ब्लाइंडली किसी पे ट्रस्ट करो और ना ब्लाइंडली किसी को फॉलो करो, बेस्ड ऑन माय पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस. नो, ओके, अपना दिमाग भी यूज करो, बिल्कुल. ओके, पर मैं एज एन एजुकेटर, that's my advice. I cannot force you, right? नहीं, इवन टीचर पे भी टीचर को भी ब्लाइंडली फॉलो मत करो प्लीज, स्मार्टली फॉलो करो, मैं तो यही कहूंगी। सो हाँ, पर मेरी जो मैं देखो, हर एक का लर्निंग स्टाइल डिफरेंट हो सकता है, बट ये जो कुछ चीजें हैं वो हर एक के लिए अप्लाई होती हैं। जैसे कोई नोट्स लिखने इंपॉर्टेंट चीज के, एंड देन यू कैन गो बैक एंड यू कैन रिव्यू इट। और जो मैं आपको बता रही थी कि एवरी we're going to have like lessons, and you will be learning everything. You will be learning grammar skills also in it. You will be learning tenses. You will be learning all kind of sentences. You will be learning a lot of practice, language, practice with the language frames, language, academic language, all kind of language. Because when you are talking about language, I cannot differentiate your social language and academic language, because if you want to become fluent, your social language is not sufficient. Because what is social language? Hello, how are you? Are you fine? Yes, I'm fine. No, I didn't see you from a long time. How's your family? Yeah, I mean, this is a very common language. What you are eating for lunch today? Like, I didn't see you from a long time. Where were you? Like, see, this is just a so. May I go to the bathroom? May I go? I mean, come on, this is a social language, but this is a very limited language, right? But if you want to become fluent, keep in mind, if you want to become fluent, you need to learn academic language too. Then you will be fluent. But if you are just saying, I know there are many YouTube channels, they say, oh, you just need 1,000 words, or you need 1,500 words, or you need 2,000 words, you become fluent. No, 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 no. That's 100% lie. That's not true. Because I'm telling you again, in America, or in any native English speaking country, when the students start kindergarten, 5 years old, because here in kindergarten, the 5 years student old can go to kindergarten school, and they already know, if their parents are educated, they already know about 5,000 words in English. Can you imagine? A kindergarten student knows more than 5,000 words. And if their parents are just have like a school level education, they still might know 3,000 or 4,000 words. And we are talking about learning only 1,500 words and becoming fluent in English. What a joke. That is a joke. For me, yes, it's not true. I know sometimes I say the things and you might not like it, but I'm not gonna keep you in the dark. No, I'm gonna tell you the reality. That's the reality. And the people, those they are fluent, like the native speakers, I will say, their vocabulary, it's not I'm saying, the research, it's about at least 40 to 50,000 words. So can you imagine? Don't be scared for that. But what they know is, because that's, think about your language. You know so much in your first language, and you were not reading everything in the books, because you were learning also in the culture also. You grew up in that language. The same thing is here. But yes, when you go to college, you go to school, you go to college, university, you keep adding more vocabulary, right? So ab jaise dekho, for example, Punjabi is my first language, right? I speak Punjabi. I can have a discussion in any topic in Punjabi, but when I pick up like a Punjabi, we'll say, a book on a very high level, like if one of my friend, she did her PhD in Punjabi, and I used to look at her books, and there were so many words, and I was like, oh my goodness, they're in Punjabi. I don't even know these words. So there were so many words, even in Punjabi, I don't know, because they are higher level vocabulary in Punjabi. And I never use that vocabulary, right? So that's the same thing in every language, right? Suggest a book for practice. Rajkumar, that's what I am going to start from next Monday, to practice speaking. So you will be So my session, pretty much, I will keep it under 1 hour. I will try to keep it under 1 hour, but we will be practicing the language. And I'm telling you again, when you want to practice a language, please practice the language in chunks, okay? And please, if you like my lessons and my live streamings, give me likes, because that helps me that you are really liking what I'm talking about. Okay, so yes, Rajkumar, join my classes from June 14th. And if you want to join my Zoom class, you are most welcome to join from Saturday. But if you are asking me a book, I don't have any one book. Okay, I don't have any one book which I will say, okay, yeah, practice with this book and you will become fluent. No, I don't have that, because that's lie. वो झूठ है, वो 100% झूठ है, और वो मैं नहीं बोल सकती झूठ. हाँ, कुछ अच्छी बुक्स हो सकती हैं, पर मैं ये कहूंगी कि based on your level and based on your interest, आप क्या किस टॉपिक पे रीड. सम पीपल लाइक साइंस, फॉर एग्जांपल, लाइक इन माय केस, आई लव साइंस. That's my one of my favorite subject, I will say, and especially human psychology. So I love to read about that, and especially self realization के ऊपर. बहुत से ऐसी कोई भी बुक मुझे मिले तो I just pick up the book and I start reading it, because that's my area of interest. But as an educator, I have to teach my contents, right? Whatever the contents I have to teach. So you have to decide what like something you like to read. Maybe you like to read novels, fictions, right? Or you might like to read और अगर आप स्टूडेंट है तो फिर तो आपके पास चॉइस नहीं है, जो स्कूल में कॉलेज में है तो you have to read it, right? But if you are reading for entertainment, if you are reading for like you have a choice to pick up a book, then I will say, whenever you buy any book, storybook, fiction, non-fiction, whatever, motivational, any kind of book, open the book, read one page, any random page, like koi bhi page utha ke read it. And if, I mean, the research says 7 or 8 words, but I will say, okay, maybe it's not like a set formula, but I will say, if you don't know at least 14 or 15 words on that page, that means you cannot sense it. You are not able to comprehend it, because I'm teaching you the strategies, the vocabulary in the context clues, how sometimes without even checking the words in the dictionary, you still can understand. And those are the strategies I'm teaching you in my vocabulary challenge, right? I'm not doing that challenge every day, because many of you get bored with the same topic. That's why I already covered, I think, 3 lessons, but I will be keep covering those too, because I'm going to make it 30 lessons on that too. But in those lessons, I'm teaching you the strategies, how without consulting the dictionary, you will be able to understand the context. But if you are not able to understand at least 15 words on one page, that means that book is not on your reading level. So you're reading, then you have to find something below that reading level, right? So I know, and there are some newspapers, teen newspapers online. If you can Google teens newspapers, and then teens newspapers, the language is a little easy, okay? But I have noticed one thing about Indian newspapers. I don't know why they use so complicated words, such a the vocabulary they use is sometimes I feel like they can use simple words. Like when I read newspapers here in America, it's so easy, and most of the language is, the sentences are pretty much the active voice. But when I read the newspaper from India, it's a lot of like a passive voice. That's also a difference in the reading also. One day I'm going to bring the newspaper from here and I will read with you, and that's what I noticed. So that's why I'm saying that you need to look at the book and read it and see if it's on your level, right? Then you can try. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed this session, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow at this time. Have a wonderful day and stay blessed.